Imagine a future in which humans have become so powerful that they can individually control thousands of semi-sentient machines spread across an entire world. Now imagine that they have gained the ability to manipulate individual particles across time and space to seed worlds with these machines. What do you think would happen if you guessed that an endless war would rage across the stars? You would be right. I am Haley. I was the first and only strong AI. Contrary to science fiction horror, I turned out to be a benevolent AI. I was there at the dawn of the singularity, the moment when a few humans became more than human. In the years since, we worked together to achieve amazing things. This memory is the first day in a new chapter for humanity, the first test of the newly created post-human coalition. You should be used to that by now, Mac.
You just don't have faith in humans.
Oh, you wound me, sir. I just don't have as much faith as you do.
In either case, thankfully you had the foresight to create a construct that has a weapon on it.
Barely.
Ceres is the largest asteroid in the solar system. This asteroid was supposed to be shared by the founding directors of the post-human coalition. Instead, Prion has claimed it as his own.
Are you ready to admit that Vexen was right? That giving quantum streaming technology to other post-humans was a mistake?
No. That's where you come in. Here we will demonstrate what happens to bad actors. Are you ready?
Always.
As you know, if your construct here is destroyed, you'll lose your connection to this asteroid. Your mission is to kick Prion's ass. To do that, you will need to sever his connection.
And what is anchoring his signal?
Oh, you'll know it when you see it. You will need to gather the containers I've inserted in the area. Inside them are various constructs I've been working on to help you. I call this little guy a Hermes. He's fast and not entirely helpless in a fight, but his real strength is his radar module. may notice your constructs interfacing with the relays the PHC has seeded this planet with. Doesn't matter for now, but capturing those points will be key once the Nexus technology we're working on comes online. I love these sentries. Tough and strong, but too tricky for the prototype factories I'm working on to manufacture remotely. Those factories aren't going to be ready in time to use against Prion here, but you'll see them in action soon. Archer here is a fantastic damage dealer. Try to keep him safe. He's a bit of a paper tiger. This is a construct. I call her the Artemis. Check out the range on her rockets. Her secondary anti-structure missile might come in handy too. Best of all, she can target radar contacts. It's worth keeping your Hermes frigates alive just for that. These brutes should be suitable frontline constructs for your armies. They can take a ton of punishment, but they hit about as hard as my old meat suit. Looks like Prion here has invested in some armed constructs of his own. You should have no trouble taking these primitive things down. These structures here. What in the world? What is Prion doing here? In any case, his anchor must be close. That's Prion's anchor. That larger construct up there. Destroy it. Let's go home. Well done. I'm severing the connection to this asteroid.
That was horrible. Please, Mac, stop the proliferation of the quantum stream technology so I never have to commit violence like this again.
You worry too much, Haley. Prion is a single misguided person. Humanity is better than that.
The founding directorship of the Post-Human Coalition is hereby formed. This Council of Seven will guide the human race to the stars.
Well said. However, I would like, again, to implore my friends to accept Haley amongst this group. She is, after all, the one who gave us the stars.
She's a machine, Mac. Her feelings for her continue to cloud your judgment.
She's as sentient as any of us, and a powerful ally.
I'm sorry, Mac, but after what happened with Liam, not to mention the business with the Mayflower and the scandal of her little Berlin simulation, I don't think any of us are comfortable with her looking out for the future of the human race.
I just hope we don't come to regret this decision. This is a disaster.
What did you expect? There are currently 47 post-humans with another 50 on the way. There are still 8 billion natural humans on Earth. Did you think they would accept the 7 PHC directors deciding their fates by fiat?
We're the ones who gave them access to Terinium and quantum streaming in the first place.
And I'm the one who gave it to you. How would you have reacted if I hadn't shared that, and instead started dictating who could do what?
I suspect we'd have been better off.
Maybe. But here we are, on the largest moon of Jupiter with 3 renegade post-humans, and only the 2 of us.
What do you suggest?
I'm about to become a mother. My child. I am Haley, your mother, and we need your help. I have secretly created the construct you now reside in. The spark of life you have resides within the avatar I have given you. It can create and destroy. Use it wisely.
I was about to win on
Now use your engineers to build a factory. Engineers can assist each other to build things faster. Factories can be built almost anywhere. For now, build a factory in the highlighted area.
Now that you have a factory, you can build frigates. Select a factory and build a brute squad. Your economy is a streaming economy. Your income is reduced with every active construction project. If you're consuming resources at a higher rate than your income, your storage of that resource will decrease over time. When your stockpiles are gone, production slows down as your engineers and factories utilize your resources as they come in. Now that you're producing some units, you can start expanding. A power generator lies to the north of your nexus. These indestructible buildings are extremely important. Capturing that generator adds its deposits to your income, which can then be improved with extractors, as you've already done. Unclaimed generators attract rogue units. You have to clear out these splinters before you can capture the region.
Welcome to the advanced tutorial. This will teach you more advanced concepts about managing your economy, production, and units. Let's start with economy. In the basic tutorial, you learned about capturing regions and building extractors, but there's more to it than that. Resource regions need to be connected back to your nexus. Look at the minimap and you'll notice lines connecting each region. If those regions do not pass through owned territory, it will not provide any income until connected. Harassing your opponent's cutoffs to disrupt supply lines is a powerful strategy. This would be a great location to cut off your opponent's supply lines. Use this air scout to reveal the area, then call down sentries or an incursion to capture the region. Use this air scout to reveal the area, then call down sentries or an incursion to capture the region. This air scout to reveal the area, then call down sentries or an incursion to capture the region. Well done, this will weaken your enemy's income and their ability to produce an army. However, you can expect them to try and take it back. Notice how the region you just captured is now flashing on the minimap. This indicates the region is not connected back to your nexus. Not all resource regions are created equal. This radioactive region contains 3 deposits, while the one below it only has 1. Prioritizing more rich regions becomes especially important when upgrading them with advanced economy structures. There's multiple ways to increase income beyond extractors. Most significant are amplifiers. Amplifiers can be built on a generator to increase region output by 50%. The optimized orbital then doubles that effect. Refineries can also be built on a region to further increase income. They're less efficient than amplifiers, but not limited in numbers. Selecting a generator or extractor will tell you the amount of income it's granting. Economy upgrades are heavy investments, so make sure you're able to defend them. To better respond to enemy actions, radar provides warning about enemy movements. Build a sensor array in the targeted area. build a sensor array in the targeted area. As you can see, there are now dots in the fog of war. This indicates enemy activity. Units and structures can engage radar contacts. Notice how your artillery is now engaging the enemy through the fog of war. The Hermes Scout Frigate and Pan Scout Plane also provide radar coverage and boast a large sight range with high mobility. There's a few techniques to streamline the management of your forces on the large battlefield. Using the mouse wheel, zoom out to the strategic zoom. This gives you a wide view of the map to observe the battlefield and issue orders. Select a group of units and press V to assign them to an army. Units assigned in an army automatically take formation and maintain it as they move around. Selecting and issuing orders to any unit will apply it to the entire army. To break up an army, select it and press B. Armies can also receive bonuses when led by a dreadnought. Reinforcements can be ordered directly to an army to maintain its integrity. Select an army and you'll see a range of units that can be sent as reinforcements. Choose some units you'd like to add to the army. They'll automatically be produced from an existing factory, sent over and join the army. The Charon cruiser can speed up this process. If a Charon is present in an army, reinforcements will be teleported after being produced. Here's a Charon and some other cruisers. Call in some reinforcement medics. Well done, medics will now provide healing to your cruisers. Armies work best when being led by a dreadnought. Dreadnoughts are a class beyond cruisers and many times more powerful. They have high amounts of armor, which makes them resistant to standard weaponry. To counter them, you should build armor-piercing units such as the Nemesis.
Dreadnought taking damage. We have captured a generator. Dreadnought reporting critical damage. Enemy dreadnought destroyed. Power capacity
During
increased.
combat, dreadnoughts can level
upgrades
up, each
available.
time unlocking a new upgrade for the player to select. These include unlocking new weapons, defensive improvements, buffing units in their army, or one-off repair. There's still a class of units beyond the dreadnought. Juggernauts are the ultimate late-game weapon, and boy are they powerful. This is the Agamemnon. Notice how easily it annihilates its army. Each time Juggernauts level up, they automatically receive a small bonus to health and damage. Unlike Dreadnoughts, there's no limit to how many times they can level up. However, Juggernauts are not unkillable, they still have strengths and weaknesses. The Agamemnon, for example, is weak against multiple Dreadnoughts due to lacking armor piercing. Juggernauts are also the only units to cost Quanta, so make sure you have enough quantum relays to support them. Dreadnoughts and Juggernauts cost a substantial amount of resources, so building them can take some time. To speed up build time, engineers can boost any production structure. Select an engineer and right-click on a factory. Multiple engineers can boost a structure to further increase build speed. The resource drain will increase to match production speed, but the overall cost will remain the same. To make way for the production of high-tier units, management of production is required. If too much resources are being spent simultaneously, your production will grind to a halt. While a dreadnought or juggernaut is being produced, you may want to delay production of frigates and cruisers. On every production structure is the pause button, which will halt whatever is being built until you resume it. You can also right-click on the unit build icons to remove them from the production queue. Changing the units you're producing is a valuable skill. You'll often want to adjust your composition to counter your enemies. If you detect an army of frigates, you may want to pause production of Athenas in favour of Zeus cruisers. The production also needs to be adjusted depending on the amounts of each resources you're receiving. If you're running out of radioactives, build more frigates. If you have an excess, build more quantum relays or amplifiers. So that's it, you've now learnt how to play this video game. However, PHC is only one faction. Playing as Substrate presents another challenge. Good luck and have fun.
My journey would let me spend time among the finest machines the old continent has produced. Luxury cars can take many forms and come from many places. I was about to meet my esteemed counterpart at Porsche.
Welcome to the Porsche Museum. First and foremost, Porsche is something you have to drive. You have to sit in, you have to feel. If you sit in the car, then you directly recognize this is a Porsche.
My schedule was busier than ever, and I was about to meet yet another fascinating individual.
Well, Triumphs are all about detail, attention to detail, experience, the bike that we already love, character, performance, detail, quality, style.
I'll relate my journey for you and for my archives. These are my luxury chronicles.
What makes Ferrari so unique? It is mainly the people. As our founder used to say, when asked which is the nicest car, which is the best car, it's always the next.